Good morning, everyone. It's October 5th, 2018. I am Eric. How's everyone doing? As you can see, I'm here at the Free Thought Project. Thought I would hit some of these headlines and then focus on one particular. So let's get started. So, cop hires a prostitute who then stole his car and gun as he got cash to pay her. Good for her. Good for her. Now, do you remember that woman who was pregnant that the police used their dogs to maul her? Well, the court ruled that the innocent pregnant mother rights were not violated when the police dog mauled her. If that's not a violation of rights, I don't know what is. Feminist billboard removed because dictionary definition of woman is considered hate speech. Yes, you heard that correctly. The definition of woman is considered hate speech. On down here, town bans all politicians after being lied to repeatedly, and they say no party is welcome in that town. And I say good for them because you know, we don't need these lying sacks of shit anyway. And this is about as low as you can get as a human being. Cop caught on his own body camera stealing dying elderly man's money instead of helping him. And he got no jail. It reminds me of a guy I used to know. His name was Randy. Randy was a crackhead. And one night, he was a neighbor. And one night we both walked up to the 7-Eleven there in Rock Island, Illinois. And there was a guy passed out on the ground. Thought he was dead. And old Randy, the crackhead, ran over there and ran this poor bastard's pockets. Well, that's the same mentality that this cop has, right? The same thing. Only, you know, he's a guy with a badge, so he won't get in trouble for it. And this is the one I'm going to focus on, because it happened right here in South Carolina. Five police officers shot, school lockdown, and active shooter incident. It wasn't a school shooting, by the way. But before I do, health experts warned that Fortnite video game is as addictive as heroin. It is a pretty fucking entertaining game, I'll give them that, but I don't think it's like heroin. I mean, you can't plunge Fortnite into your veins and die from it, so. Now this happened here in South Carolina. And I'm not going to lie, I was a little bit, well, for lack of a better word, happy that this happened. It's unfortunate that the guy who shot the police will be facing the death penalty because one of them died, but he stood his ground, and I say good for him. 5 police officers shot, school lockdown, and active shooter incident. This happened in Florence, South Carolina. On Wednesday afternoon, 2 police officers and 3 sheriff's deputies were shot by an active shooter in Florence, South Carolina. Around 5 p.m. local time, the Florence County Emergency Management Dispatch put out the following statement, warning residents of an active shooter situation. Due to a high priority call in Vintage Place off of Hoffmeyer Road in Florence, South Carolina, there is an active shooter incident in progress at this time. We are advising everyone to stay away from this area. We have sheriff's officers along with CDPD and other first responders handling this situation. Doesn't look like they handled it all that well. I mean, they were shot. And I say good for the guy. I really do. But I digress. According to reports, the active shooter emergency was declared just before 5 p.m. local time, and the authorities reported the capture of the suspect about an hour later. The nearby West Florence High School was locked down as a precaution. You notice that there's no pictures of this guy, okay? So, I would have to think that he was not white. If he was white, he would be plastered on every fucking news channel across this country. So, moments ago, police confirmed the shooter was in custody and the situation is under control. They urged anyone in the area to stay clear. The active shooter situation is over and the suspect is in custody. We are asking everyone to stay away from Vintage Place, as there is still active crime scene investigation in progress. Sheriff's Deputy Glenn Kirby with the Florence County Sheriff's Office told local news outlets that three Florence County deputies and 2 Florence City police officers were injured. However, no details on their condition have been released, and there was an update. One of them did die. So, and as I said, no details on the shooter have been released yet. So, let's hit this here. Your privilege level. How much can we steal from you in the name of equality? And this is one of them racist things where people think they're owed some kind of money compensation for the wrongs they have faced from white people. But the left is becoming increasingly and often bizarrely obsessed with all manner of supposed privilege these days. BuzzFeed even put out a quiz on how much privilege you have. All of these various privileges work to form a simple Marxist-like dichotomy between the oppressed and the oppressor. So for white men and heterosexuals, Christians, cisgendered, able-bodied, and attractive people are all at least privileged, or, if not part of an oppressor class. So, if you're white, heterosexual, Christian, cisgendered, able-bodied, good-looking, you are fucking privileged. How's that sound? It's hard to imagine a more effective way to increase division in society than splitting everyone into different groups that that are either good or bad, privileged or oppressed. And this is some of the things that civil wars are made of right here. And this division is then inevitably followed up by demanding a government solution to these inequalities. One of the most obvious glaring omissions is that made up the bulk of Marxist theory, namely the rich versus the poor, hardly gets mentioned. Now, I don't like rich people, like billionaires, because they are greedy bastards who use their money to fuck over humanity. But for the factory owner, the business owner, those kind of rich people, they're rich but not super rich. They are the backbone of our society. Without those people, there would be no jobs. Indeed, one of the first things that came to mind with the recent proposals in South Africa to expropriate the land of white farmers without compensation is that no such proposals were being made for expropriating the land of assets of wealthy corporations. Perhaps That's because wealthy corporations can better defend themselves or flee, or perhaps it's because class is far more fluid than things such as race. It's just more whining. I mean, that's all these people do is whine. Let me tell you. Last week, my left foot was so swollen. This is my privilege. That I could hardly move it. I went to the ER. I have these fucking welts all over my body that seem to pop up overnight. They're itchy as fuck and driving me crazy. Which is why I didn't make any videos yesterday, because I was too busy fucking and dealing with that. And I can't get treatment. I'm poor. I don't have any money. I have $50 to my name to last until Friday. Talk about living fucking paycheck to paycheck. But hey, that's my white privilege. I'm still itchy as fuck. It's driving me crazy, but I'm going to deal with it, and hopefully it gets better. Anyway, I thought I'd share these with you. There's a couple more, but I'm going to do them in a different video. Maybe later on today. I hope everyone has a good day, and remember, kill the state and live free.